हे पुनर्वसु जातौ केरले चोलपट्टने कौस्तुभांशं धराधीशं कुलशेखरमाश्रये घुष्यते यस्य नगरे रङ्गयात्रा दिने दिने तमहं शिरसा वन्दे राजानं कुलशेखरम्. Verse 11 and 12 today. माभिर्मन्दमनो विचिन्त्य बहुधा यामिश्चिरं यातना नैवामि प्रभवन्ति पापरिपवः स्वामी ननु श्रीधरः आलस्यं व्यपनीय भक्तिसुलभं ध्यायस्व नारायणं लोकस्य व्यसनापनोदनकरो दासस्य किं न क्षमः भवजलधिगतानां द्वन्द्ववाताहतानां सुतदुहित्रकलत्रत्राणभारार्दितानां विषमविषयतो ये मज्जतामप्लवानां भवति शरणमेको विष्णुपोतो नराणाम्. So now, the last, again, as I said, each week, the Mukunda Mala Stotram, each verse stands like a separate flower in the string. So it is individual, and we can, just by being besides each other, there is a little bit of association between two flowers or two stotras, but otherwise each one of them are independent in their own right. So which means you can pick up each one randomly from anywhere, and then it will still have a certain completeness within it. It is not, he's not trying to tell a story, he's not trying to connect one with the other. That is not very evident here. It is quite independent, and rightly so, because whatever is coming in his mind at that time, the state of devotion that he is in, he is just processing that. See, when do words come out? Is when we find ourselves in a need for expression, right? When we find ourselves, there is a need to express, either because there is someone or something from the outside is stimulating us to say something, or there is some emotion that is within, it's welling and swelling up in some form, and you feel like you can't contain it, you have to express it. Right? All forms of expression is essentially either a stimulus from the outside, which is essentially is a stimulus on the inside only. But a lot of times there are stimuli that come from the within. You're thinking about something, you feel like crying, so you cry. That's an expression. Suddenly you may think of a Vadivelu joke and you'll laugh. Other people will wonder, why is he laughing all by himself? But in your mind, some joke you've thought of and you're laughing. And this happens because there is expression. As a human being, there is a constant desire and a need to express ourselves. And so what happens is, when there are bhaktas and sadhakas of this high caliber, it comes out as beautiful poetry, poem, words, songs, the joy that they're experiencing inside. So two kinds of things that happen within them. One is they are in their own joy and experiencing the devotion. At the same time, they're looking at the world and they're saying, why is the world not getting this? So the expressions that you will find are usually around these two, which is they themselves are seeking out, they themselves are communicating. It's a mode of them communicating with their divine, with the beloved. Right? You take your Ishta Devata or the Devi or whoever, and then when you want to communicate, You use language to communicate. Sometimes you don't need language, sometimes just by the heart, but it helps to use some kind of language, because that expression, when you're putting it into some form of words, there is clarity in what you're trying to express, even for yourself. That is why a lot of times it's said, if you have a very strong emotion, write it down. Right? If you want to tell something to somebody, write it down. And then see if it's coming out properly, and then tell it to them. Otherwise, don't. These are some of the methods to manage your emotions. And devotion is an emotion that is associated with an ishta, your beloved, divinity, whatever. You give it name, form, and the journey always for emotion to become devotion is two stages. One is, from with the emotion, you try to be devoted. You start doing things to be devoted, saying, I am doing bhakti, I am doing nama sankirtanam, I am doing kainkaryam, and all of that, right? Those are activities that you do as worship, as an act of devotion. But then you move on to the next stage, where Kulasekara Alvar is, that you are in devotion. You are in devotion. You are not doing devotion. You are not doing anything in that. There's no act. You are in that state. Act becomes a state. And when that is the situation, then whatever wells up comes out as words and poetry and poem and all that. And in that, we will see these two kind of categories. One is their own reaching out, their own expression of what state they are in. And the other is by looking at the other people in the world and trying to say, why are you like this? I wish I could give you a taste of the joy that I'm experiencing. அது இருக்கும்ல, a lot of times um, when you have had something really that has um, you found something very tasty or something very pleasant, you want you want to share with someone else. You had a very sweet mango and it's extremely good, of course, assuming you like sweet. Okay. And then you've had it, you want to share it. The other two people beside you, you will want to give a bite. You'll say that tasted. It's really so sweet. So in the same way, when there is this joy welling up, they want to express, and they also want to tell people, listen, there is this joy that is there. Don't get drowned in your daily humdrum. Just raise your eyelids, open your eyelids a little bit, raise your head a little bit, and see. There is this beauty, there is this joy, there is this rasa that is waiting for you to experience. So this stotra is also in those lines. Mabhir mandamano vichintya bahudha yamischiram yatana. This is mabhihi, which means do not be afraid, O mind. Manda manaha, foolish mind, don't be afraid. Of what? Of thinking repeatedly. Bahudha, vichintya bahudha. Of what? Of yamihi. Of the Yama, Yamadeva, or Yamaraja, which means don't keep thinking about death continuously and what you're going to be, the difficulties and the sufferings you're going to go through due to Yamaraja. Don't keep thinking about that repeatedly. And then he says, Naivami prabhavanti papariva pavaha swami nanu sridharaha. Naivami. He says, these these are your enemies. These thoughts are your enemies. And these are because of your karma. these, because of your karma, your papa karma, these ripavaha, these ripu they've been formed, which means these thoughts of torment, thoughts of suffering have been formed because of the papa karma you have done, but they cannot touch you. So he is giving what is called as ashvasana. He is giving you some kind of assurance that even though you have done wrong deeds, even though you have done deeds that result into papa phala, don't worry, they cannot touch you. They cannot touch whom? The one who is thinking about Bhagavan, which is what he says now here. The one alasyam vyapaniya bhakti sulabham dhyayasva narayanam. Keep remembering, thinking about Narayana. Lokasya vyasanapanodana karo dasasya kim nakshamaha. So to such a person, to whom you have taken Bhagavan Narayana as your master, to such a person, I say that if you have taken him as your master, you have taken him as your Lord, if you have taken him as the one who is the supreme being that is governing, sustaining, taking care, he's the creator, sustainer, destroyer, the cosmic principle, if you've taken him like that, then dhyayasva. Dhyayasva means continue to meditate upon him. And why so? Because he is somebody who is vyasana apanodana karaha, which means he is one who removes all the vyasana of everybody in the world. What will he not do for his own bhakta? Vyasana apanodana karaha means to remove or to dispel. That's what you have written here, right? Meaning is to remove or clear off the troubles, the vyasana of the world. Lokasya vyasana apanodana kara. Such a person, why will he not do that for his own bhakta? Dasasya kim nakshamaha. Won't he do that to his own dasa? Somebody who has taken him as his master, to such a person, won't he help him out of his troubles? So the structure of this particular verse is Kulasekara Alvar is giving assurance to, if you think I am not worthy. A lot of times we go through this mental struggle to say that although I want to worship, although I want to be a dasa, I want to serve the Lord, I want to do kainkaryam, we tell ourselves I'm not worthy. Like a lot of I remember, so I have this practice of giving Rudraksha Mala to people, because whenever I go to either Kashi or Rishikesh, I buy a bunch of Rudraksha Malas and I keep it at the altar. And then if I feel like somebody I want to give, I give the Rudraksha Mala. And I have seen a couple of people usually, or a few people say that, oh, I am, I drink, I smoke, can I wear? Is it okay for me to wear? And all of that. But I don't keep myself in a clean way. Then the question I ask is, are you wanting to be sanctified? Are you wanting to feel clean? Are you wanting that? If you don't, no problem. Then you don't need the Rudraksha. Don't worry. don't have to take it. But if you feel like, because see, usually the Rudraksha, I don't give it just like that, right? Because there is a conversation that goes and the person is showing interest that he's wanting to do something, but because he's stuck with work, with family, with so many other priorities, he's not able to spend time and all of that. And then the thought comes that, okay, maybe try to get onto something, it will help you. So if the intention is already established that yes, I want to take up to some kind of sadhana, some kind of dhyana, japa, introspection, if the intent is already established, then the point is, don't you think by taking this on, you will get slowly purified little by little? So why make your current state as uh, an impediment for you to get where you want to get to? Your present state is never an impediment to where you want to get to. It is only your intention that is an impediment. Your present state is never an impediment. Sankalpa you make, and then things open up. But the making of the sankalpa itself, if you are doubtful, oh, I am not, I don't maintain, I eat non-veg, how can I wear Rudraksha? Can I, but can I, when do I remove it? I will keep it. Is it okay to remove it and keep it? But socially, I have to go and drink, I'm at work, I have to go and drink. The point is, these are things that you're doing out of compulsion. If you have to go socially, you have to drink, it is out of compulsion. Nobody's coming and putting a knife around your neck saying you must drink. By drink, I mean alcohol, right? That is one thing. The second thing is smoke. If you say, I smoke, how can I wear Rudraksha? Said one is, A, there is no correlation between the two. B, if you think by smoking, you're making yourself impure, if that is the thought you're having, then use the Rudraksha as a tool. So when you're wearing the Rudraksha, don't smoke, no? If you think smoking is not good for you, use this as a tool to help yourself slowly come out of that, or at least while you're wearing it, don't smoke, or take it off and do it. The awareness increases. Why do you put something on your body like a Rudraksha or a Tulasi Mala or something, or even the Vibhuti Kungumam or the Namam that we put, is essentially some marks on the body to remind of what our essential journey is, where our focus should be. Not to say because I am not pure, because I'm not clean, because I don't observe certain things, I won't do this. No, if your intention is you want to get to a better place, if you want to get to a better place within yourself, you want to now focus a little more on spiritual pursuits, use these as tools. These then become tools, not impediments. And that is important to note. So what Kulasekara Alvar is saying is that when there are thoughts constantly of Yamaraja coming, or what he's trying to say is there are thoughts coming that, I have done so much of, I've done so many mistakes. I've not lived the right life. I have not done the right things. When some of these thoughts keep coming and you feel that you're suffering the pangs of these thoughts, know that it's because of your karma, which is clear. These thoughts come because of certain karma, the way I've lived, the way I've done things, etc. But at the same time, it doesn't stop you from going forward. Don't hold yourself back because of your current state. Resolve to yourself right now, oh, I am Dasa, I am Narayana Dasa, I am this the Bhakta of Bhagavan. I am a devotee. I have surrendered. I have done Prapatti. I have done Sharanagati. And hence, none of these things can touch me. Doesn't mean that we go to the other extreme where I say, now I am the bhakta, I can do whatever I'll do, nothing will touch me. Not that. It doesn't give us the license to, like 007 had the license to kill, license to this, license to that, right? Doing prapatti or sharanagati does not give you license to be whatever way, whichever way, because karma will eventually catch up on you. And Bhagwan will just be sitting there and saying, okay, it's your karma. The papa karma will not touch you if you have in your heart offered it all to Bhagavan and taken his servitude, and say that, I will ensure that I don't continue to do any of that, or I at least become more aware. See, if somebody has a habit of hitting, as an example, you get angry, you don't know, you hit. Now you put some kind of a rudraksha or a tulsi mala around your wrist and tell yourself, because I have this, I should not hit, I should not do violence. What will happen? The first few times you'll forget, because out of habit you'll do that, and then it will occur to you, oh, I've put this, I should not. What is happening? Slowly you're inducing awareness into your action. That awareness of action is important. It is not important whether Rudraksha is pure, Tulsi Mala is pure, impure, Bhagavan is looking, oh, what happens? Will I get? Nothing like that. Whether you do that action with the Tulsi Mala or without a Tulsi Mala, the action is going to result into a consequence. Because you've got a Tulsi Mala, it is not suddenly going to be Narayana now is going to be angry. You put Tulsi Mala and you're doing this. It's not like that. This is what people carry. They think that, oh, if I touch the altar without having taking shower, will Bhagavan get angry? Why will Bhagavan get angry? It is not about that. It is about you becoming aware of your action. That, oh, I have not cleansed myself. This is a clean sannidhi. Let me cleanse myself and then come and touch it. That is all. The awareness of action is what is being induced by saying, you become a little, you should keep it this way, you should keep it that way, you should be in a certain way. All of this, to be in a certain way, is essentially to drive a certain awareness of action. So he's saying, now when you're aware that you are the dasa of Narayana, now you're aware, which means as a dasa, how should you be? That is important. Not that saying, oh, now because I'm a dasa, anything I do is acceptable. No. As a dasa, how you should be? Be like that. Be like a servant of the Lord. So he says, Mabhir mandamano vichintya baudha yamishiram yatana. Don't keep thinking about the torments that Lord Yama is going to keep causing you. Na eva ami prabhavanti paparipavaha swami nanushridharaha. So um, isn't your Lord Sridhara? So these actions that you're, or the results or the thoughts that you're getting, the thoughts of torment, is essentially because of your papa. Those papa have together become an Ari. They've become your own enemy. The papa that you've done is become your own enemy. So don't think that there's an enemy sitting outside. It's your papa. Papa means essentially those karmas that have caused certain unfavorable consequences. Okay. Let's not hype or over exaggerate papa and punya. Punya is actions that you do that will cause comforting consequences. Papa are those that will cause discomforting consequences. It will put you to some kind of discomfort, mentally, physically, whatever, some kind of discomfort. That is papa karma. So he's saying even in your thoughts, when there is this yatana coming, it is because of the kind of karma that you've done. This yatana is coming. It's all right. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Alasyam vyapaniya bhakti sulabham dhyayasva narayana. So saying it is so very easily she's saying alasyam vyapaniya, remove alasya, remove all kinds of laziness. See, when we say laziness here, even somebody who's extremely active in the world can be lazy for his own inner spiritual growth. Laziness doesn't necessarily mean, alasya doesn't mean that he's chumma sitting and he is not even doing devotional service. It's not like that. He may be a very active person and engaged in the world. Maybe there may be no alasya in his activities in the world, or no laziness. He'll be getting up early in the morning. He'll do everything that needs to be done for achieving ends in the material world. He'll be doing all of that, but he can still exhibit alasya in inner exploration, in inner time spent with himself. He could say that, I'm so busy at work, I'm not able to sit down for 5 minutes to meditate. I'm so busy at work, I am not able to listen to a discourse. Even while traveling, I'm always taking a call. Wherever I'm going, I'm on a call. I'm doing this work, that work. And then when I get some relief from office work, then I have things at home to take care of. So you keep procrastinating the sadhana that you need to do for your own self. You keep pushing it down. That is also alasya. So he's saying, don't do alasyam. Alasyam vyapaniya. Remove alasyam and bhakti sulabham. It is so easy to be in this bhakti. It is so easy to do devotional service. Bhakti sulabham dhyayasva narayanam. Just meditate upon this Narayana. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo narayanaya. Just continue to meditate upon these sounds, just these sounds. 5 minutes, sit down. Nothing, you don't have time for anything. 5 minutes, keep aside. 5 minutes, we all get. You're so busy. In the toilet also, it is okay to do, my guru says. Toilet you go, right? Okay, forget. Nowadays, even in the toilet, people are checking phones and apps and all that. So you're so busy. When you go into the shower, fortunately, phones are not so water resistant that people don't take it into the shower. So you're standing under the shower. At that time, chant. So it's a sankalpa. All it takes is a sankalpa. I make a sankalpa. Correct. Busy is just about priorities. So that sankalpa I make, I say every day morning when the water is flowing, the sound is going to be Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. I just keep thinking that the shower will become a very, very beautiful purificatory process. You're just cleansing your body, your mind, your Atma will get, there will be Chitta Shuddhi that will happen when we do it like that. We are also taught, right? Gange cha Yamune chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmada Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sannidham Kuru. When you take that shower, you bring in all the 7 rivers and you say the rivers of all waters from all those rivers may flow upon me. Purifying yourself. Because going to a Kumbh Mela and taking dip 20 times and then or 108 times, it's not going to cleanse you for lifetime. It will have its effects for a period of time, because everything at the end of the day is physical on the outside. Transformation should be from the inside, and that comes from sankalpa. So he's saying, make that sankalpa. It's very dhyasva narayanam. It is so simple. Sulabham dhyasva narayanam. Then he's saying, vyasana apanodana karo dasasya kimna kshamaha. The one who does lokasya vyasana, he removes the troubles of the world. For his own devotee, what he will not do. And then the 12th verse goes, Bhava Jaladhi Gatanam Dvandva Patahatanam Suta Duhitra Kalatra Trana Bhara Arditanam Vishama Vishayatoye Majjatam Aplavanam Bhavati Sharanameko Vishnu Poto Narana. Bhava Jaladhi Gatanam. And this is similar to the 9th and the 10th, I remember. We spoke about how Bhava Maru. It talks about the samsara as a desert and you're parched, and how Hari Sarasi, how Hari is a lake, a beautiful lake. Bhagavan is a beautiful lake in a dry desert. So now here he is coming to the usual reference of Bhava as Bhava Sagara or Samsara Sagara, Bhava Jaladhi Gatana. Those who are beaten in this Dvandva Vata Hatanam, in the winds of duality, those who get beaten, he comes as this Vishnu Potaha, means the boat. He comes as this, Vishnu comes himself as this boat to carry you to the other side without you drowning. Where are we drowning? We are drowning in what is mentioned here is Vishayatoye, Vishayatoye, in the water of Vishaya. And why are we drowning in that? Because Kalatra Trana Hara Arditanam Duhitra Kalatra. So we are Sutta Duhitra Kalatra Trana Bhara Arditanam. We are so worried about protecting and taking care of who? Of our sons, our wives, our parents, or this or that. We are worried. And we are drowning in this Vishayatoye, means the material world, the sea of the material world. Majjatam, Aplavanam, there is nothing to carry you onto the other side because you're drowning. And Bhavati Sharanam Ek, there is only one Sharanam, which is Vishnu Potaha, for everybody. Vishnu Pota Narana. For everybody, there is only one boat that is available, that is Vishnu. And why is that? Why are we drowning? Why are we drowning? Nobody can tell that. We have to figure out, why are we drowning? Only when you realize you're drowning will we wake up to say, "Ayyo, I am drowning." If you think you're enjoying, so what? Life is like that only. There'll be pain, there'll be pleasure. This is how it is. You have to just go through this. If you settle down, you'll not know we are drowning. The urgency that this, because the weariness of the cycle has not hit. When somebody just says, yeah, this is how life will be, so what? It's not a problem. Today I win, tomorrow I lose. Today I enjoy, tomorrow I get beaten up. What is wrong? There's nothing wrong. It is just that you are not tired of it. Only when becomes somebody gets tired of this cycle of, and they feel that, you Podum Amma Podum. Either Kalpaka, what song is that? Swamiji's, my guru's song.
தாய்கள் எத்தனை தந்தை எத்தனை கணவன் எத்தனை மனைவி எத்தனை I don't remember that. எத்தனை எத்தனை
எத்தனை எத்தனை தாய்கள் எத்தனை, தந்தை எத்தனை, மனைவி எத்தனை. How many sons and daughters and wives and children and parents and friends and this that you have had in so many lifetimes. Podum amma, podum. He cries out. Says, porum, porum. Enough. This should come as a realization. If you think this is only one life and this is the only family I've had ever, and this is the only my dearest wife, my dearest child, my dearest parents, my dearest this, that, other. Ni lama, my heart is broken. If you think it is like that, then it means we have not been beaten up enough. There is this comedy on idla varum. Avvai Shanmugi. This Delhi Ganesh will get beaten up. And then after getting beaten up, he'll collapse. He'll become unconscious. And then the guy will get some soda water, sprinkle on his face. He'll wake up and then he'll beat him again.
தெளிய வச்சு அடிக்கிறாங்க.
தெளிய வச்சு அடிப்பா. He's like, what are you, why are you doing? And then again he'll faint, go unconscious. Again they'll bring water or soda and hit on his face, and again he'll beat. So he'll say, why are you doing this? He'll say, no, you need to know that I'm beating you. What is the joy after you fainted? I beat you. No point. You should know that I'm beating you. This is what needs to happen to us. We need to know, we need to wake up to the fact I'm getting beaten. I'm getting beaten in the cyclical samsara again and again and again and again. Until you don't know, it is like you're unconscious and somebody beating you. What is the point? You'll not experience it at all. So he's saying, you're worried and drowned in this. Don't be so. Know that there is only one thing that you can take across. Bhagavad Bhakti, Bhagavad Dhyanam, Bhagavad Sankirtanam. This will take you across. And this he is saying because he says, I am experiencing it. I know this. So these two verses, if you notice, he is actually telling it to people like us who have not tasted it or experienced it. And he's saying, I am here. See, I am telling you out of my own personal experience. Don't worry. You can. It's possible for you to get through. It is possible. You just have to make that sankalpa. Make that sankalpa and you can do it. There's a beautiful story of, we'll close with that story. There's a beautiful story of Narada Muni. How he gets caught up in Maya. Many of you would have heard this story. Narada asks Krishna, what is Maya? And then Krishna doesn't respond. He says, I'll show it to you through a demonstration. And then he goes, there's some place they go. And then Krishna and Narada are walking. Much later, they're walking. And then Krishna sits in one place, says, I'm feeling thirsty. I want water. So Narada goes in search of water. He's not able to find water anywhere nearby. Then he goes, he sees some kind of a village. He goes into the village. And suddenly people there, the house he goes, asks water, is the house of the chieftain of the village, the sarpanch of the village. The sarpanch is so enamored by Narada because he's Devarishi, glowing personality. And some conversations happen, they sit and then he says, why don't you, I've been waiting to give my daughter to somebody illustrious like you. And then he gets married and then he has children. And then he sets up his own house. Then he gets everything. All of this, Narada, all of this he's now doing. And then he set up a family, everything. He's now got kids and all of that. And then on a certain day, suddenly there is a flood in the village. And then everything is getting beaten away by the waters. Everything is getting drowned. And then Narada and his wife, they're trying to save the children, but the children are drowning one by one. It's okay, it's okay. But we're not able to hold. Then he holds his wife. Wife says, if you at least hold me, you can get more children. Right? So he'll hold the wife. Then, but the torrents are so heavy and the wife will also get washed away. And then Narada is crying out, Bhagavan, why did you do this? Why so much torture and all that? And then he hears Krishna's voice from somewhere saying, Krishna, where is my glass of water? He just sent you to get water. Where did you get stuck? So then, poof, everything goes off, and then Krishna says, this is Maya. This is Bhavasagara. This is Samsara. And somebody like a Narada himself can get stuck. So Kulasekara Alvar is saying, don't worry, everybody can get stuck. But know that the only boat is Vishnu Potaha. Remember that. Remember that. And Dhyayasva Narayanam. These are the two main messages of these two verses today, right? Dhyayasva Sulabham eva Dhyayasva Narayanam. It's very simple to meditate upon Narayana because he is the boat, the plava. Don't think there is no boat. Aplavanam is in this vast ocean. He is the plava. He is the boat. So that are these two verses, 11 and 12. Mabhir manda mano vichintya baudha yamischiram yatana naivami prabhavanti paparipava swami nanu sridharaha alasyam vyapaniya bhakti sulabham dhyayasva narayanam lokasya vyasanapanodana karo dasasya kim nakshamaha भवजलधिगतानां द्वन्द्ववाताहतानां सुतदुहित्रकलत्रत्राणभारार्दितानां विषमविषयतो ये मज्जतामप्लवानां भवति शरणमेको विष्णुपोतो नराणाम् ॐ कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि सदाशिवायेति समर्पयामि जगदम्बिकेति समर्पयामि सद्गुरुनाथायेति समर्पयामि हरि ओं तत्सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओं
हरि ओम सर।